When the earthquake struck Haiti 10 days ago, the United Nations estimated that it flattened every other building in the capital city of Port-au-Prince. And that's not counting the damage in cities and towns outside of the capital.
Get back, get back, get back! What's up?
Since the initial quake, of course, there have been a number of strong aftershocks. Footage of this one here. And so the survivors of the disaster, for obvious and rational reasons, are not eager to take up shelter in the buildings that remain standing. Of the 4 million people who lived in Port-au-Prince before the quake, at least hundreds of thousands of them are now living out of doors. The International Organization for Migration counts at least 450 camps around Port-au-Prince where people are living outdoors of their own accord, in parks, parking lots, soccer fields, and behind churches. The Haitian government has now approved plans for more than a dozen official giant tent cities in and around Port-au-Prince. They expect them to hold something on the order of 400,000 people. There is a science to building tent cities. Land is cleared and leveled. There's an expectation that officially approved tent cities will have things like clean water and a way to safely feed people and sanitation and health care. But even a well-organized tent city, of course, is still a tent city. The rainy season starts in Haiti in May. The Minister of Tourism in Haiti told reporters after a meeting with Haiti's president today that phase 2 of the tent city plan is to contract with private companies to build new permanent housing, hiring the residents of the tent cities as their labor force for construction. Meanwhile, there is mass people-powered migration within Haiti. USAID officials saying today that they think about 200,000 residents of Port-au-Prince have fled the city already by bus, by ferry, or on foot, trying to find a place and a way to live in other Haitian cities or in the countryside. In a horrible week, a decade or more of mass migration from the countryside to Port-au-Prince has been turned around. That said, many of Haiti's secondary and tertiary cities themselves have been hit hard by the quake. NBC's Nancy Snyderman today filed this report from a medical facility in the very hard-hit, beautiful tourist city of Jacmel.
On this day, we head for Milo, where there is reportedly a stocked and staffed hospital with no patients. We soon understand why. The roads are inaccessible, so we head instead to Jacmel, a 3.5-hour drive from Port-au-Prince.
Really, they help because Jacmel is done.
In this small port town near the epicenter of last week's quake, it's not known how many people have died. Estimated that 1,000 people have lost their homes. There's no sign yet of U.S. military and little outside aid.
The town's hospital has been badly damaged. The severely injured are everywhere, but there are signs of hope, too. This 25-day-old baby was pulled from the rubble 8 days after the quake.
Congratulations, Papa.
As we head in for the day, we see a young, injured boy being carried by his mother on the back of a scooter. We stop. In that instant, the entire news crew pitches in.
2, 3. No speeding. Let's just go slowly and get to the Israeli compound. What happened to him?
He was next to the kitchen. There was a pot that was hot. So when everything shook, it fell on him. He got burned.
12-year-old fractured right arm and burns. He's got an IV and a catheter.
Can I see the child?
Who holds this?
Watch out.
You, Mommy. You have to help me with his arm.
We take him. We can take him? Yes. Okay.
We found him on the roadside. Someone was riding a bicycle, and he and his mother were on the back of the bicycle.
Like that?
Like that.
Like that?
Yes.
NBC's Dr. Nancy Snyderman reporting from Jacmel, a city about 25 miles below Port-au-Prince on Haiti's southern coast. Anchored off the coast of Haiti today is the USNS Comfort. It's a hospital ship that's taking part in the largest medical evacuation in its history. Captain Richard Sharp, a Navy trauma surgeon who's one of the team that's orchestrating the movements of the Comfort today and getting people onto the Comfort for treatment, said today this: "The Comfort is going to full capacity. We've never done it before." The Comfort is offshore. Patients on land are delivered by Army ambulances to helicopter landing pads. Then they're loaded onto Black Hawk helicopters, and then those helicopters fly them on board to the Comfort, where they're treated in one of the hospital's 11 operating rooms. The commander of the 82nd Airborne units that are helping load the ambulances says the U.S. Army has not participated in a medical evacuation of this scale since Normandy. Yesterday, for what is believed to be the first time in its history, a baby was delivered on board the USNS Comfort. A baby girl named Esther arrived by cesarean section 7 weeks early. She weighed in at 4 pounds 5 ounces. Her mom was brought in with a fractured pelvis and a broken leg. She managed to survive since last Tuesday with virtually no medical care. More tales of unlikely rescues and information on how you can help with the rescue and recovery effort in Haiti in just a bit. Please stay with us.